clarify. I think every member here agrees how important it is to not only tackle homelessness, but to make sure it doesn't happen in the first place. That is why one of the greatest disappointments that I have with this legislation is that this government is how late in the parliamentary cycle this bill has come forward to us, limiting the time we have had to properly scrutinise it and showing in quite stark terms where the priorities of this Labour government lie. However, we will be supporting this legislation. And I would like to thank the local government and housing team, along with the officials who have worked on this bill. They have worked to some extremely tight deadlines set by the government, and their hard work and commitment should be properly recognised. While the Welsh Conservatives are supporting this bill, I want to put on record our disappointment that veterans are not explicitly exempt from local connection test, something we believe should appear on the face of the bill. This submission places Welsh veterans at a clear disadvantage compared with those in England and runs counter to the spirit and intent of the Armed Forces Covenant. In England, veterans are now exempt from local connection requirements for social housing allocations, recognising the unique nature of military service. The absence of a comparable exemption in Wales for homelessness support risks undermining equal treatment under the Covenant and creates clear policy inconsistency across the rest of the United Kingdom. Many veterans have been required to move repeatedly throughout their military careers and, as a result, have been unable to establish long-term ties to any single local authority area. The Welsh Conservatives believe that local connection tests are deliberately discriminative towards veterans. The amendments put forward by myself in Stage 2 and further amendments by Rhys Owen in Stage 3 were designed to level the playing field for veterans in this regard. It's extremely frustrating to note that while they were supported by Plaid Cymru at Stage 2, they were not supported by them at Stage 3. Likewise, for all their talk on veterans' rights, yet again reform were absent in this chamber when we discussed them. No amendments and no interaction. Because of this, veterans under this bill may still find themselves referred back to areas they cannot realistically or safely return to, delaying access to support at a time of acute need. This is not only unfair, it directly disadvantages them compared with civilians who have been able to put down permanent roots. These concerns are not unique to the Welsh Conservatives. Veterans Commissioner for Wales, alongside homelessness organisations and housing charities, have all raised serious concerns about the lack of an exemption for veterans and their families. Again, had this bill been brought forward earlier in the parliamentary term, I believe we could have reached agreement on including a specific exemption for veterans on the face of this bill. Veterans' rights is a policy we will always, as Welsh Conservatives, continue to pursue, and we will with this. Finally, and I am conscious of time, we must also recognise that relationship breakdown is a major driver of homelessness, and considerably more needs to be done to improve access to effective support and care, an area where Wales is still continuing to fall short. While this bill claims to focus on preventing homelessness in the short term, I am concerned that it will amount to little more than warm words. Without a serious and sustained increase in housing supply, its ambitions simply cannot be realised. Wales is in the grip of a housing crisis, and no amount of legislative intent can hide the fact that this crisis continues to be ignored. Thank you.